Sam O'Reilly with a Fight Talk podcast. Myself, former professional boxer Richie Gray.
Turned media guy.
Turn his hand up whatever you wanted to. Mr. Richie Gray, how are we, dear?
Yeah, good. Still broken.
How's the fortnight been since you've... is it a fortnight since we did the interview? 10 days maybe?
Something like that, yeah. Apart from feeling like I want to swing from a rope a couple of times, you know, for the lack of a better word. Obviously, it's just a horrendous time.
Yeah, obviously a bit later we'll go over the plans and everything and just an update for people what you've been up to. We are one seat empty. Ben
Fuck
Hall.
Ben.
Fuck Ben. Ben was supposed to be here with us, obviously. He was due to be here at 11 o'clock. Obviously, for people that don't know what time we're recording, because not everyone's going to see the live portion, but we were due to start at 11. It's currently 10 to 12, so we gave Ben some time. He's had car trouble. I'm doing inverted commas. I hope it's car trouble. I trust Ben, but you know, I don't know. He texted us 10 past, 11 when he was due to be here at 11. Bit dubious, but all I can do is take the man on his words. Ben Hall is not here. He is not here, so we've had a couple of questions come in for him. Can't fucking answer them, but what I can do, obviously I was in the gym Tuesday, Jorge Rubio's gym down in Sutton with Isaac Chamberlain and Ben, so he told me a few bits. I had a good chat at length with Ben, so I'll comment on what I saw and what he told me personally, but again, it ain't going to come from the horse's mouth, so I could just be lying.
So topics for today.
Topics for today.
Half freestyling it.
We're going to freestyle. There's no boxing to speak of. I know you watched some last night.
I watched last night, so I've actually got a couple of bits to go through. We can have a little zoom through some of that. Some of it interesting, some of it probably not interesting because it was my idea. But we'll see. If anyone else watched last night's boxing and you watched... Let me find his name. I actually took a screenshot of this guy's name. He calls himself the Rooster.
That's a great name.
It is a great name.
But does he have a red mohawk?
He does a chicken scratch and he's got a rat's tail.
But why doesn't he have a red mohawk and really embrace the name the Rooster?
His name's Nico Marcia.
Nico Marcia.
Is that Marcia?
Show me. Macias.
Anyway, he is, I believe, now 17-0, 10 knockouts. The guy beat last night was 8-0, 6 knockouts. 16-time Mexican national champion as an amateur. So going into the fight, I didn't know as much about Nico's amateur background, so I thought he's got a, you know, you can easily manipulate a professional record. Maybe this is his night. He's going to get found out. Jesus Christ, the bell went and he ran across the ring at him, started throwing punches, and he did not stop until that man decided not to get back off his stool in round 6. At the end of round 6. He threw 196 punches in round 3, which I believe is the third most amount of punches ever thrown by a fighter in a fight in one round. And I believe he was the most punches ever thrown by a welterweight at the weight division. Insane. And it was 2 of Ricky Hatton's former opponents that are in the top 3 as well, which was Ray Oliveira and...
Just dropping stats.
Dropping stats.
Bam, man's had time to research.
Bam! And Ben Taki, I think the other one was.
Ben Taki, what, the Crystal Palace striker?
Ben Taki.
I thought you said Ben Taki.
No.
He couldn't throw a punch. He could barely kick a fucking football, Ben Taki. I didn't watch any of it, to be honest. I know Ryan Garcia was fighting. He's a weird kid.
Listen, it was alright. Do you know what he's got? I've obviously heard his name. There's too many Garcias and I was getting mixed up, but last night confirmed for me who's who, so nice. Thanks for that.
He's the posing one, the handsome one with a million girls all over him.
He's got superstar quality.
Do you reckon?
100%. The only problem is he's such a light division. That
what is he? Super feather?
Lightweight, I think.
Or light?
Yeah.
Because there's talk of him and Gervonta Davis.
He's not ready for that.
No.
He's not ready. Not after last night. He's only 20 years old. The guy I boxed last night was 28, I believe. He's got star quality on camera. They were going. The woman was like, he's been trash talking about you, and this other guy had been saying shit about him, and he said he reckons you're a bit of a geek, and he goes, well, I am. That's what I do. I'm not going to stand here and act like a tough man when I'm not. I'm a geek. So what?
Yeah.
And then he beat him up.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't beat him up. He outclassed him. He's very slippery. They were saying on the commentary about how he says he's never been rocked or buzzed in a fight. Then he got hit with a boomer in about round 6. And his legs sort of did a little dance, but he weathered the storm and come out and got a unanimous decision.
Fair enough. I didn't watch any of the card last night. I didn't watch boxing. It's weird, like I kind of have to be.
It was luck for me, really. I just couldn't sleep. I had about 3 hours sleep last night, and at 3 AM I was looking for my phone.
Stumbled across it.
It was for someone like Ryan Garcia. I feel like we should have known about that.
Yeah, but who? He ain't got any.
It was a live. Everyone knows I'm not a big fan of streaming, especially for the boxers that are trying to sell tickets, but that actual show was just a YouTube show, so it was not.
Was it really?
Yeah, it wasn't on TV and things like that. That's a thing now, isn't it? Like YouTube,
yeah, of course
it's a thing now.
Of course it is. I mean, I didn't. I didn't pay much attention to it. I wasn't. It's weird. Like for me, I get like, you know, because it's not the boxing season over here. Like obviously you still get fights, and Tyson fought 2 weeks ago and stuff. But it's kind of like you get enough in. So I kind of like having an off season, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You kind of a little bit of a refresh. So I didn't even look for any boxing. I'll be honest with you. And Ryan Garcia, he might have star quality, and he's got that Mexican that he could be.
His problem at the minute is he's a boy. He looks like a boy. I think he's got a few knockouts on there, but he's a boy. Yeah. At the minute, he's a boy. He looks like
but
a boy.
Canelo was. You remember?
Nah,
Canelo turned pro at what, 11 years old or something?
No, listen, it's not the same thing.
Didn't Canelo have 25 fights by the age of like 15 or something stupid? Like Canelo.
I just don't. Some people develop differently. Obviously, everyone develops at different stages of their life.
Yeah.
Remember, in the juniors, you get boys that win junior titles can't win nothing as a senior because they hit puberty at the age of 7.
Yeah.
And they had a beard at the age of 9. So, I believe Canelo was probably blessed a little bit with.
Or he was taking something.
Or he was taking something, you know.
His dad was feeding him that horse meat, or what was it, buffalo? What was the excuse? Buffalo? Or horse meat?
No, I might as well start getting involved in that now anyway.
You can say what you want now. Maybe his dad was feeding him that from the age of like 4. As soon as he had teeth, he was feeding him buffalo. I keep saying buffalo, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know why you say buffalo. I feel like it was
what
just
was
normal
it?
cows.
It was just Mexican meat.
It was just normal cows.
No, buffalo sounds better, doesn't it? Because then you can actually, a big fucking steroided buffalo. Think of him with massive muscles, the Dwayne Grant of buffaloes.
You can see him like biting a cow while it's still alive.
Yeah.
Like, walk up into a field and just bite it fresh.
And Canelo would be on the other end eating it, just fucking...
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, Canelo was eating it,
That's
the
what
cow,
I'm saying, yeah.
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me, mate, because them geezers are bred to just... I mean, to be turning
Listen, look how casual... I read an article the other day. Golovkin is so casual about it all. He's like, I don't care, I'm doing it anyway. The feeling I got, it was like he did not care. Like he is a good boy. It's a nice fight. Like he didn't really have much to say about it. He had a little bit to say about it. I actually think it was in Boxing News, and Golovkin's not really that bothered. I mean, he's not a crybaby anyway, but you'd expect him to be like, hold on, I want you tested up to this fight, because he doesn't seem to care. He's like, hold on, I'm not going to put the pressure on him just in case he does it back. I'm not saying that he is. I'm just saying that if I'm doing it, I'm not going to say to you, test him in case you turn around. Well, hold on, you could have put all the pressure on me. What about you?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Let's both do steroids, dominate the division, and not gross each other out.
Do you know what I find weird? It's called Canelo vs GGG2. Who's the champion here? Who's the man with all the belts? Doesn't matter.
Is that really relevant?
Well, apparently not, because Canelo's the draw in this fight, and I know Canelo has got like literally the biggest following, but he's still the challenger, no? Am I missed something? Like, I don't know. It just further proves to me you can get, when you're the A side and when you're favoured upon, like Canelo is with the WBC for starters. They make belts for him and shit. It's quite pathetic. You get preferential treatment. It's as simple as that. And I think Canelo's allowed to pretty much do what he wants. You know what I mean? The man got found for whatever was in his system. Clenbuterol. They backdated to his last fight. Like, what the fuck? So literally,
that's brilliant.
Nothing happened.
That's brilliant.
When you think of it, nothing happened.
You can organise a fight for the day after his ban is over.
Yeah. So
brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when Floyd Mayweather beat his girlfriend up and then they let him have the fight and then go to prison.
Yeah, because he brought so much money to Vegas.
Yeah. We'll let you have your fight, then we'll put you in prison. Thanks. Cheers, that's good, yeah. So now let me pay my bill. Let me just pay my bills so they're sorted and then I'll go to prison for you.
Crazy, isn't it?
You can imagine what kind of prison cell they'd be in.
Yeah, the
sofas and like waiters in there for him.
Some artwork on the wall.
Yeah, a bit of art. He's probably got a bag in there. He's probably got his coach coming in doing paging every day.
Yeah, it's no different from being in training camp.
If anything, it's no different from being in training camp. If anything, it just keeps people from taking photos of him.
Yeah, he probably
prefers it. Yeah. And I see a meme on Facebook a little while ago. Bro, I think I'm going to go to prison so I can focus on training. That's kind of what these boys are looking at. I think I'll go to prison.
The tickets sell themselves, so they ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah, they ain't got to worry about all that, have they?
Fuck's sake, man. I don't know. Canelo Golovkin, while we're on the subject, like,
the fight never lived up to expectation. No one said that. I don't think anyone's actually said that out loud. It really didn't. I think everyone was expecting like a classic, which it wasn't. And Golovkin kept saying, this was again in that article, that Canelo was running away and he wouldn't stand and fight. He's trying to goad him in.
Yeah, why should he? Like,
he's trying to goad him in.
Although I don't like Canelo, why would he box to someone else's? Yeah, you don't beat the drum to something. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? You're not going to fuck it up. My opponent's told me I won't stand in the middle of the ring, so I better do that. No. If you believe you can win the fight doing it, do it. But
Listen, I still like Canelo. I liked what he did last time. Everyone, obviously, doing drugs is not a good thing. But listen, they're the only ones that have been caught. Doesn't mean the others are not doing it.
Mm. Well, so how do you think that fight plays out?
The rematch. It's such a 50-50 again. But I thought the draw was fair last time. Canelo was more accurate with his shots. Golovkin threw a lot and missed a lot. He might have landed more, but he had to miss a lot more to get to there. So yes, he put the most effort in, but his shots weren't as quality as Canelo. So it depends on what you like. And I don't think they'll be very dissimilar. I think if anything, Canelo's going to come with more confidence.
Yeah.
I think Golovkin's going to want to steam into a little bit more, but Canelo will be more confident this time because he knows he can take the power. So I feel like Canelo has got more advantage going into the second one than Golovkin.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be. Is anyone going to change their game plan from the first one?
They don't need
Probably
to.
not.
They just need to do it better.
Yeah, exactly that. Do it better.
Do what they did last time, but a bit better. And there was talk of Canelo was saying that he believes Golovkin hasn't changed since the fight. He hasn't got any better, and he's aging.
He thought Vane's more to see, and
he doesn't feel he's got better. He doesn't feel he's improved or moved forward, and there's nothing else about Golovkin's game to change. Canelo believes that he's added to his game and he's changed since then, and that's going to be a totally different. That was his belief in the article. You go.
Hugo.
Who's Hugo?
Hugo. Who's Hugo?
Who's Hugo?
Hugo.
My mate's got a dog called Hugo.
She
hates it.
It's such a posh name, Hugo. Hello.
She hates it. Hello, Hugo.
I mean,
Hughes.
Hugo. We're going to talk about something you wanted to talk about.
Usyk Bellew.
Usyk Bellew, the potential. I don't want to say like super fight. I don't know what to call it.
It's not a super fight. It's just a fight.
It's just a fight.
It's just a fight.
I mean, you know it's going to be pay per view, right? You get that. It's going to be an Eddie Hearn.
That's cool. Yeah, it is what it is.
So maybe it is a super fight because all pay per views are super fights.
If you're a boxer, don't live stream it on your fucking Facebook. Yeah, pay for it. Support the cause. Next time you fight, I'll live stream your fight and not buy tickets.
Jesus, all right, Rich, calm down.
Do you know what I mean?
What if it's free on fucking YouTube?
I'll go there and watch still.
You still go
I'll
there and watch?
support the system.
Yeah.
Because I know that if I don't buy tickets, they can't survive and they've got no career. They've got no career. There's no future
Which
of boxing.
actually we should that while we're on that, before we talk about Usyk Bellew, we should talk about what I said to you earlier. I don't know if you know Bobby Woods.
Yeah.
Bobby Woods is a 1-0, trained by Daily Perales. He's Steve Goodwin. I believe Steve Goodwin managed, but he made his debut on a Steve Goodwin Promotions, and he was due to fight next Saturday, 6 days time. And he's put a post out yesterday. After his debut, he broke his hand and had a big recovery period, so he lost a bit of time. But he's a young man, but he's also he's a talent. Like, obviously, I watch a lot of debuts, and 1-0. Let's be honest, it's hard to judge.
It's hard to know.
Very hard to know. But all I can say is,
shit I was. No one by first round knockout in my fight.
Yeah, it says it all. But I liked what I saw in the debut, and I don't know. There was something about Bobby Woods I really liked. And he's put a post out yesterday that he's had to step away from boxing. He literally
retiring.
He said stepping away. He's sold less than 25 tickets. He has no backing, and he said in the post he's got himself in debt to box before
through fault of his own or boxing.
Now this is my point.
Now I try and help boxers.
There's a couple of ways to look at it, isn't there? I know he's a hard worker. And I believe he's a talent.
I get frustrated at this.
Yeah.
I get really frustrated at this with boxers.
You don't see enough posts from him really about sponsors and stuff. But then, just because you don't see him doesn't mean he's not out there doing what you were doing.
Listen, it's very hard to get it right. You need to put stuff on Facebook so people know what's going on. You need to make it sound like a big deal so people are attracted to it. Mm-hmm. It's your responsibility, nobody else's. Nobody else is going to do that for you. That's your sole responsibility to make people... You've got to create the hype and then believe the hype to make it a hype. That's what you've got to do.
You like the word hype?
Hype. I'm fucking hyped about it, yeah? Sponsors, again, putting a little Facebook post up once every few weeks is not enough. Go out, take your road band clothes off, put a shirt on, go out and get sponsors. Go out and talk to people. Let people know you exist. Don't walk in there and go, excuse me, give me money. Go in and just let people know you exist. If they don't know you exist, they don't care, they can't give you money. Go in and out of these companies. I've heard people say to me, yeah, it's different in my area. No, it's not. That's a lot of bollocks. It's different in my area. People have still got jobs. They've still got to survive. They've still got companies. In fact, if you live in London, there's more companies. There's more business. So don't give me that fucking bullshit. There's more business. There's more companies. More opportunities out there. You need to go out there. You need to create relationships and friendships with these people to give yourself a chance. Not all these people that sponsored me gave me money straight away. JAC, who actually sponsored me for an entire year, paid me a lot of money every month to keep me going. They said no. They told me no at first. No, I do not benefit from that. I've no reason to do that. I kept talking to him. I went and did some work for him, helped him at work. He helped me. We started talking. We got to know each other a bit more. About 3 months later, he said, "Do you know what, Rich? How much is that sponsorship?" And he ended up paying me monthly, and he did that for an entire year.
Yeah.
So you're going to get told no. Not everyone's going to be interested. Keep working. Don't get annoyed. Don't get bored of it. Keep grafting away. It annoys me. There's so many boys, they're lazy. They're not trying hard enough. And they go, I'm trying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You want to be posting multiple times on your Facebook, not asking for people to buy tickets and sponsor you, just letting them know what you're doing. Talk about the fight every now and then, once a day, once every couple of days, but you need to be consistent. What you find boring, they don't find boring. Joe down the block loves to see what pro athletes are doing. If he's a boxing fan, he likes to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Even if you're walking a dog, they love all that. People like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You need to be consistent on all your social medias. Try and mix them up. Don't put the same post on all of them. Talk about something on Facebook. Do different kind of content on Instagram. Contribute to conversations on Twitter. People I don't even know put something on Twitter and I'll just comment randomly. They think, who the fuck is this guy? I don't care. I don't care. They now know who I am.
Yeah.
They now may follow me. They may not. Someone might follow me. Someone might share it. I don't care. If you're not talking to them, they don't know you exist.
Yeah. It's something we've spoken about before that, listen, I know there ain't enough hours in the day to do everything you need to. I get it. But
listen,
if it really is your dream, if it is your dream,
this is what I used to tell
then
myself.
it can be done.
This is what I used to tell myself. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go in and out of businesses knowing that I'm going to get told most of the time. Told no most of the time. I didn't want to do that. But if I don't go in there, my career's over. If I don't go in there, I cannot afford to be a boxer. So go in there or fucking retire and stop moaning. And stop blaming everyone else and the area you're in, your circumstances, for your own downfalls.
I did not expect this opinion to be so strong.
It is fucking strong because it frustrates me. There's loads of boxers out there not trying hard enough. And they'll say, oh, I'm from a different community, or, it's not like that in my area. Or they blame something. You'll find an excuse. Winners find a way, losers find an excuse. Find a way to make it happen. There is another way. People have come from lesser and achieved more. And there always will be someone that's come from less and achieved more.
Where did this fucking...
It fucking annoys me.
You are on it, but I love it. Winners... What was it?
Winners find a way, losers find an excuse.
That is class. That's t-shirt material. That is... Mate, you got to start a t-shirt line or an inspirational quote or after dinner speaking. Mate, the world is your oyster, Richie.
My mate Davis Pagan, who destroyed you with a body shot a few weeks ago.
Prick.
Yeah, prick.
What was he trying to achieve? Oh, watch me punch out a fat lad. And he still couldn't drop me. Dickhead.
Davis Pagan, when we both turned pro, he's a lovely guy, so everyone supported him, but his tickets started to go down, and I started to get on him because he's my mate. I said, Davis, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. The last the last month or so, my career's come to this point where it is. I've started throwing all of my ideas to Davis now, to share with him. If anyone has watched Davis' social media recently, he's been on it. On it. Davis ticket sales, I guarantee you, will go up 100%, without a doubt. I very rarely dropped below the 200 mark. Yeah. Very rarely. Davis will now go back right above that. We live from the same area. Sometimes people would come to mine and not his, or his and not mine. Now I'm out of the picture. Davis has got more people that he
So what percentage have you agreed that he's going to get?
Do you know what the thing is? Since this, I've helped Davis in a couple of ways. I've tried to get him into the Boxing News magazine on the 60-second section. The guys creating the... Boxing Manager game.
The boxing promoter.
He's got a character coming on that now. I don't want anything from Davis. I just want to see him do well. If any boxers want any advice, I don't know anything about boxing. I really don't. But I did alright with sponsors and I did alright with tickets every time. So if anyone is struggling, give me a message and ask me a question. I'll tell you what I can. But if I give you advice and you don't do it, it's on you. Yeah. I can only tell you. And I don't know it all. But it fucking worked for me. And I never stopped boxing because of money issues. Ticket issues, none of that was ever a problem with me. Don't get me wrong, there were times when I did only sell 100 tickets. Only 100 tickets, Rich, that's still pretty good. Not in comparison to the 280 I'd normally do. 100 tickets is a bad day in the office for me. So if 100 tickets or 80 tickets is a good day in the office, you're not doing enough.
Fair enough.
If you want, listen, obviously I don't know it all. I'm fairly low level boxer. I only got to, 6 round point. Maybe I would have been at Southern area just around that sort of area. But that doesn't mean I don't know the business side of boxing. And these boys need to understand that the boxing is the easy part of the game. That's the easy part. You can be a superstar. If you sell 5 tickets, no one cares. You ain't worth nothing. If you can't box and you sell 300 tickets, you're value to someone. You bring value to someone somewhere in boxing. You'll be brought on correctly and right. But no one's going to give you that opportunity. You have to go and find it yourself.
So also, it also sums up the fact that if you can get that side right, like I'll be honest, I've seen some pretty crap small hall boxers with a big following, and it just shows, doesn't it?
I'm sitting right next to you, bro.
No, but they are both equally as important. Like it's literally that simple. You can't neglect that side of it, which people are clearly doing. And I don't want to sound like we're going off on Bobby Woods, because I'm gutted that he's in this position. I
don't know him, so
you don't know him personally. I've met him a couple of times. I've interviewed him after his debut, and I liked what I saw. But I can understand your point where it's on you. If you aren't, right now, if you're not there, if you haven't sold enough to fight, then I guess it's on Bobby. He has to find a way around it. And he can't fight next Saturday because he hasn't sold enough tickets. So, okay, maybe now, and I'll say this to him because he wants to do an interview with me, maybe now his priority should be out there. No fight dates. Let's go and get some sponsors.
Spend a few months grafting.
Yeah.
Spend a few months grafting.
It can be done. It can be done. It's just got to be done correctly and take the advice on board.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And it is... I've stayed outside companies before and I thought, I don't fancy this. I look at a lot of places. You've got to be realistic as well. Look at the company you're about to walk in. The local chicken shop ain't going to give you £1,000 a month.
They might pay you chicken wings.
Might pay chicken wings. Don't ding like a chicken wing. They ain't going to give you £1,000 a month. So don't go in there and ask for £1,000 a month. Go to a local scaffolding company where the wages of a man is probably something like £180 a day, £200. He might take home £800 a week, right? A scaffolder or any tradesman. So for you to go in there and ask for £500 a month, it's not a lot. I had people telling me, obviously there's PRs and things asking me like about my sponsorship and things, and I'd say I'll straight up ask for £1,000. That's what I value myself at. That's too much. You're out. No, it's not. Tell me I'm outpricing myself. Why am I bringing in nearly £2,000 a month in sponsorship? Don't tell me I'm outpricing myself.
Yeah.
If you find another boxer bringing in more money at my level, and then tell me I'm outpricing myself. Maybe a sponsor has not sponsored you because you've undersold yourself.
Yeah.
You've gone in there and thought £100 a month, and he's gone £100 a month. Like,
you can do £100.
We can do £100. What's that going to do?
Yeah.
You've got to be serious about it. Like, you give them a serious. What's £500? £800 a week as a wage as a tradesman. 16, £3,200 a month is what you'll pay out in a wage. You're asking for £500. What's that?
Yeah.
That's a labourer's. You want a labourer's wage once a month.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
It's true.
And on that labourer's wage, a labourer wouldn't cover too much of that anyway. But he's just labouring. So, and of that money that they're giving you, they actually get a tax return on it anyway.
Yeah.
So when you weigh it up and you look at it like that, you get it right. So go in your local chicken shop where everyone's on £3 an hour, asking for that, you're stupid. You go in somewhere like a scaffolding company, who's very popular in boxing. There's a lot of scaffolding companies. That's realistic. It might not work. They might tell you no. They have no interest in it. I've had a guy go, no, I hate boxing. Don't like boxing. Hate boxing.
Fair enough.
I hate you.
See you later, mate.
Yeah. Listen, it is what it is. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You can go in somewhere and they go, I love boxing. They love everything about you, and you mosey on into an easy sponsorship. But if you're not going out there looking for it, it ain't going to come. No one's got a clipboard walking around knocking on your door looking to give you money. Shout out Advanced Facility Management. Helped me from day one. Knew absolutely nothing about me. But I spoke to him.
Just took your pretty face on face
value. Took my pretty face on value. Got to know me a little bit. Showed how much work and effort I was putting in. It weren't about anything other than the effort I was putting in.
Yeah.
And he loved it. And he always said, Rich, we always see you doing stuff. You're out and about. You're posting. You're on it. You're busy. You're creating new ideas. You're thinking of stuff and you're trying. He helped me from day one. He went from kit before I even turned pro to paying my wages.
It's unreal. It can be done, boys. It can be done. Let's talk about Usyk Bellew. I don't know how we went from Usyk Bellew to that, but
we've got
it was a good
2 minutes
discussion.
before the live portion of the show.
Oh shit!
I feel like we've been really serious today. Not been much banter. I feel like I've been just steaming. I'm a bit tired today. Maybe it's like
I'm not in a that much of a joke mood. I've got some shit as well.
I pride ourselves on our jokes. You've put some fucking jokes.
You've put that we're going live at 12:15, right?
Which is 2 minutes.
So it means we have to put Usyk Bellew on the back burner now.
Yeah.
We'll go live now. Talk about
2 minutes early.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll be tardy. Don't be tardy. Tardy means late, doesn't it?
I don't know what that means.
Tardy means late, so we won't be tardy. We are going to be on point and early. We'll talk about Usyk Bellew after, but we have a talking point that we want to go through on the live portion, so we're going to do that now. Alright, so we are now live. For everyone listening on the pod afterwards, we are now live on We just created a big problem because the questions are on the phones.
No, we remember them.
We're going to remember them.
We have Celerenda, we have Yusuf Bellew, and we have the
Yusuf Bellew. We're going to do after the reason.
The journeyman job.
The journeyman job.
Where's the pen? Get a pen and paper. Pass me that pad. I need a fat talking.
Fat talk pad.
Fat talk pad and that. In the house, you can buy merchandise at www.fattalk.net.
We should do merchandise, on that, but we don't.
We don't do merchandise.
He lied. He lied.
Unless you want us to.
Yeah, we'll work it all out.
Figure it out. If things come to Fight
we have gone live with a topic that it was a question sent in by Martin from the New Age Boxing Podcast. The question is regarding journeyman. Christian Late has retired this week, and he had 300 pro fights, winning. How many did he win? 10, 12?
Yeah,
I believe he won 12 of 300 fights. So the question came in from Martin: should journeymans be a thing? You know, there's more and more boxers turning over these days, and everyone says they want 50-50s early and stuff. He had an opinion that.
Why have you got a picture of Sam O'Reilly for RG in your pad?
What is that shit?
It's like you fancy me. Do you remember when like kids used to do that in school? I just found that in his pad. Look.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Dick. Let me talk, you prick. So Martin's idea was 5 losses in a row. The board call you up. You go and talk to the board. Dan Barnard is live. Thank you very much, the head of media at Matchroom Sport. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
Matchroom Boxing, I should say. So the question is from Martin: should journeymans be a thing? Should they exist? He thinks it could work that after 5 losses in a row, the board call you up. After 7, you lose your licence and get suspended.
See, like I said earlier, shout out Terry Jules, by the way, you're in the story. When I boxed...
Harry boy, alright, Harry?
Hey, Harry! This was when we do the live portion in your shop. When I boxed Terry George, it turned out that the board had actually given him a warning that he'd lost something like 3 in a row. He needed to win around and show something back to the board that he was there to make competitive fights. He then lost that fight. They told him he needed a win. He then lost the next one, so they took his licence off him. So that was about 2.5 years ago.
But Christian Late would have had periods where he's lost 80 in a row, 70 in a row.
Listen, when you say they've got to lose 5 and then get took to the board, what will then happen is journeyman will just fight journeyman for free. Listen, no one's making money out of it.
Which promoter is going to put that on their card?
It's a free fight. Just an extra free fight. If you've got a card that's only got 7 fights on it and you need to bulk it up a little bit, just stick him on. There's now 7 fights. There's 8 fights now.
I don't know. What Martin said was he looked.
We'll take it in turns. I'll lose on your show. You lose on this one. No one makes money, but at least our career can continue. Yeah. Speculate to accumulate, Mr. O'Reilly.
What Martin said is he looked at. He's not into MMA. I am, obviously. I'm big into MMA, and there's no real journeyman in MMA. I know that sounds weird, but there's guys with a lot of losses, but you don't see the records you see in boxing.
Comes to the end of their career and they got used as a stepping stone. Yes. They just get outmatched.
Diego Sanchez is a prime example for anyone who likes MMA. The guy's lost a lot in a row. Used to be fighting for titles. He's now sort of a stepping stone. In 2 years, he's in exciting fights. You don't see that. I mean, in boxing, the journeyman is a legit career. 5 wins, 60 losses, and his argument is could boxing benefit from losing journeyman because you won't have pretenders that end up going 14, 15 and 0, beating a guy that they could beat in their second fight.
This is what tied in with what I said earlier. I feel like there may be a changing of the guard right now with the Lemazhenko's fighting for world titles early, Paddy Barnes fighting for his world title early. All these champions up the top, if you like, fighting for championships very early in their careers may make small hall boxers then think they can do it, so then they'll be going for the southern areas early. Obviously it has to get sanctioned by the board, but they're not going to wait till they're 20-0 against journeyman to fight for the southern area. They're going to get 5 fights in, they're going to fight whoever else is 5 fights in for the southern area. One of them will get a loss, one will then move on to the attempts at the English on only 7 or 8 fights. They'll all start to lose a bit more, but the quality of boxing will get better.
Okay.
Maybe it'll get better.
What does a promoter? All right, yeah, you lose out on your education.
Your apprenticeship.
But if you're a promoter, let's look at a small hall promoter, an MTK or a Goodwin, right?
Straight up, you earn more money.
No, but you don't. Of course you don't.
2 ticket sellers, it's done.
No, but it doesn't work like that because you've got guys that say a Goodwin show's got 15 fights on the card, right? You're telling me you expect 15 of them to be prospects versus prospects. It ain't going to happen. So, all right,
I'm not saying no.
I know. If you look at Martin, what Martin said, they can't lose more than 5 in a row. It would be quite shocking to look at the Goodwin show we're going to on the 15th.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know. It's a good card. I'm looking forward to it. But the opponents, I'd love to know how many of them have lost more than 5 in a row. I'd probably say half. That's without knowing the opponents. So what does that benefit Steve Goodwin? He now has to find. It's going to be rarer to find opponents, like harder to find opponents because they're going to be rare guys that haven't lost 5 in a row. It's going to be a lot harder to match for promoters. They're only going to match their better guys because there's going to be guys now that are 2-0, 3-0, where the promoter doesn't know if he's going to be any good, but he sells some tickets. Do you know what I mean? There's a 2-0, 3-0. Does he sell tickets? Yeah, you can come on my card.
Yeah, but equally, it would just come down to the skill of the matchmaking. It would come down to the skill of the matchmaking because you can put that guy that sells 300 tickets in with a guy that's not really that good, but he sells 80 tickets. He's not really going anywhere anyway. A little loss won't break his heart because you kind of know that he's in it just to say he's a boxer. The guy that's just a little bit better, he's a bit more of a prospect. Yes, it's still a 60-40. It's not quite a 50-50, but you'll just find contenders with more losses, which I don't think is a bad thing. What I do think
it's not. It's a great thing.
I do think journeymen play a role. I do think there is a role for them in boxing, and I do think they hold value to the game for educational reasons.
I mean, Christian Lake gave his entire career to. If you think of it that way, he gave his entire life, his entire career to further young kids on in their careers.
This is what they offer that no one else does. You can ring Christian Lake up at 6 o'clock. If he's an hour away, he'll be there by 7.
Yeah.
You can't ring a contender up 1 hour and say in 1 hour's time can you fight 50-50? Oh, I've had preparation, I've had this. You're a fighter, have a fight.
Yeah.
Have a fight. You're a fighter.
There is far too much on this undefeated bollocks. How many top MMA fighters... Now, people can say they're different sports. They are different sports. They're not the same, right? But how many top MMA fighters have 0 losses?
I don't watch MMA.
John Jones...
This is a boxing podcast.
Yeah, no, but it's a great example. Why can't we learn from another sport? Let's not be fucking arrogant and go, boxing knows best. Boxing doesn't always know best. Let's take some bits from another sport. The top guys in MMA... How many of them are undefeated? John Jones has 1 defeat on his record. It was a DQ. Okay, he shouldn't have been disqualified. Who else? Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's like 25-0.
I don't know any of these people.
But he's about to fight Conor McGregor. Everyone in the world knows Conor McGregor. He's been beaten. He got beaten in his 6th fight.
Yeah.
Joe Duffy tapped him out.
My name's Conor McGregor. You will see me in the UFC.
Exactly. Don't tell me you can't get to the top having lost early. It's bullshit. It's a weird little myth. I'm protecting my O. No, you're not. You're fighting another journeyman at 13-0, bruv. It doesn't do anything for me. Like, it's a great idea. Let's get rid of the journeyman, but then you
don't get rid of them. They still. If we go for this new concept, if we go for this new concept, then we still have a place for them. We need last-minute opponents.
Fons Alexanders, the Christian Lakes who just retired,
we need
Lewis
Van
Van
Poot. 2 hours notice. We need that.
These guys.
Shows can go down if
these guys do a massive service for the sport. And it's really harsh to say.
Right, they've just took advantage. They haven't took advantage. The games took advantage of the situation. See, if they just used them for, someone's pulled out, we need to replace them. If they just used them in that situation, it'd be perfect. The game would run smoothly, like you say.
Would the board allow that then? Maybe the board would say you get a special dispensation if it's a last-minute fight within 48 hours. He can fight even if he's lost 7 in a row. Do you know what I mean? If you're looking at this new system,
it doesn't matter about losing 7 in a row because they will just go and fight each other. Like I say, get a draw. Even as a draw count, or get a win each, and then swap hands, and then that's irrelevant. But they don't need to be setting up fights and giving a prospect 6 weeks' notice to fight a journeyman in his 14th fight.
Yeah.
When he could fight a contender, and then if it falls out last minute, that's when you Christian Lake step in.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation.
And then you can stick. You've got 10 fight card. You might have 3 journeymen fighting journeymen at the bottom. No one's making money, no one's losing money, but it's keeping them with wins on their records.
Yeah.
They're irrelevant to anyone, so Christian Lake can ring up and say, listen, Steve, I need to get a quick win. And,
Yeah.
So he just go, all right, yeah, jump on. We got time. Put him on the first.
What it would do, it would separate the young men that really believe they can beat other contenders from the guys that are here because they can sell tickets and they want to be a pro boxer. It would separate them because I'd love to know the percentage of how many guys say they want a prospect fight. I'm 4-0, yeah, but I'm ready for the fight. I'm ready for everyone. Okay, let's check. Let's see. He's 6-0, you're 4-0. Go to work. Let's see the percentage of how many actually take those fights. Because for me, if you're 4-0 and you fight a 6-0 and lose, fine.
So what?
You come back, you go again. You're now 5 or 7-1, and you're going up against another prospect. Why not? It can work. Mikey Saki won the Southern Area title with a 5-2 record.
Giovanni Camero's got a Southern Area title with
I think pretty much the same, 6-2, 5 something like that. It can be done. It's this weird little myth with small hall boxers that they have to build up this unreal resume.
If you want to keep your O, you're a fucking pussy hole.
Oh, Jesus. Bars.
Fight a fucking real fighter. I get what you're saying. I get that. Listen, journeymen will always play a part in this game because we need them.
Mm-hmm.
We need them. We do need them.
Of course we do. Of course we do. But are they being taken advantage?
They're being taken advantage
Is it being taken advantage of? Is it, do you have any? When you go to a show and you go 12-0, such and such is fighting Fons Alexander or William Warburton, right? Who two of the top journeymen there everywhere.
They're going to give you an entertaining fight as well.
Exactly, but say they're fighting them at 12-0, they could have fought them in their second or third. Like that's where it becomes that you're robbing them, aren't you? Aren't you robbing your own fans?
You are.
To sell them,
Christian Lates will beat you up in your second fight.
I've seen him lose a few in the seconds and thirds, and he doesn't.
They're special fighters. If he
towards the end, Christian Late was happy to get his 4 rounds and top up the fight. He stopped throwing punches, which is what was my opinion of him. He'd done so much, and he realised he wanted to get to his 300 for the last 9 months of his career. Every time I saw him fight, he barely threw a punch.
Yeah.
So listen, it is what it is. There's guys that on their day, if they decide to turn up, they can give you ag. William Warburton, didn't he knock out Aaron Morgan not long ago?
Yep.
If they turn up and they want you, and they want to, and they're in the mood, they can cause a lot of fucking heartache for young kids. But maybe if you're getting beat by William Warburton, is boxing for you? Are you going to be where you think you are? Or maybe you should go in the away corner.
It's easy to say that, but if let's say he turned up to win every single time, 300 fights, he'd probably win a lot of them.
Yeah.
He'd probably end up with 300 wins, 300 losses.
Yeah.
He would end up levelling that record out. 300 losses or not, I guarantee to you, some of them boys have got a standard of boxing inside them. You have to be a standard to be a good journeyman. You have to be a standard. You have to have ability.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get rid of journeyman altogether. Martin's idea of 5 losses gets you up to the board. Do you think there's a way around it?
They'll be sneaky. They'll just fight each other, which I think they're already doing that. The board do pull these guys up with too many losses. What are you doing? You're a professional athlete. Why are you losing? Yeah. Are you not trying? Don't you care? So then they'll just fight each other. You see it loads of times. Moveabouts. I'd
be interested to know people's opinions, especially guys that go to small hall. You know what I mean? People that go and watch small hall boxing, they pay their money because they follow one fighter, or they go to Goodwin shows because they like his. I'd be interested to know, realistically, are you sick of seeing guys that are 8, 9, 10-0 beating up guys they could be fighting in their second fights? That's the question, because it gets a bit tedious,
Yeah, like I put a poll up a little while ago about what people prefer from their preferred boxer. People buy into someone. So I don't think some people that don't know who their fighter is fighting don't care who they're fighting. They just want to see him bash someone up. That's all they care about. So then they can tell their mates, yeah, my mate Roy is now 15-0. No one's going, who did Roy box? What's that guy's record? And who did he actually beat? No, they don't care. No. Like you say, Anthony Joshua could sell out Wembley shadowboxing. Does it matter who he's fighting?
Not anymore, it doesn't. But that's very, very different from a small ball guy. It is
different. No, but it's different. But it's not, because people that supported me, a lot of them would come if I was fighting the cat. They would turn up because they support me. I fancy the cat. Should we move on from this now?
Yeah, we're gonna turn this off. We're gonna talk about some other topics, but yeah, so it's an interesting discussion piece. So,
guys, make sure you listen to the Fight Talk podcast. You will find the link on all of our social medias. Get involved, share it around. We want 1 million listeners on this.
All right, we ain't spoke about Usyk Bellew yet. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'll start.
You going out?
No, I'm staying here.
No, not you. The kids. What do you want?
Bro, we're live.
What?
We're live.
Bag.
Bruh.
The bag.
We live.
Come and get. We're not live.
We're professionals.
Now you've let the dog in.
There's a dog in here.
Come and get. What the fuck is happening? All right. After all that madness, everyone's fucked off out of it finally.
Chaos.
This is the problem doing it at home, where the kids are and the dog are, and they always want shit, don't they?
Yeah.
It kind of sums up having kids, really.
Having a family. Yeah. So needy.
So, Usyk Bellew.
They want feeding.
Yeah, I should feed one of them at some point. Usyk Bellew, you wanted to talk about it because you did a poll.
Yeah, I did. Instagram. Listen, it's interesting because people that know boxing or know Usyk know how good he is and how talented he is. I put a poll on Instagram the other day. It got about, I believe there was about 89 voters or something, 90 voters. I can't remember what it was, but in the end it was close. It was like 51%, 49%, something like that. And I feel that most of the people voted for Tony Bellew because they don't know Usyk. If you look, I had a little look through the voters. Most of the people that voted for Usyk, majority of them, 90% of them, were people involved in boxing. 90% of the Bellew voters were not involved in boxing. Obviously, there's a percentage of people that are involved in boxing that still think Tony will win it. and people that don't really know Usyk just thought they'd vote against Tony Bellew. I believe that Tony Bellew got such good votes on that because people don't know Usyk. I think he's phenomenal. I didn't know much about him. I went away like a couple of weeks ago, had a little look of him, and that man's going to do damage. I think he's going to beat Tony Bellew up. I really do. I mean, I could be wrong, and people say about writing him off, but listen, he hasn't been written off against someone like this because he hasn't boxed someone like this before. Yeah, he beat David Haye.
I wrote him off against David Haye for 2 reasons.
Because you love David Haye.
One, I'm in love with David Haye. But
yeah,
two,
I agree.
Two, I went historically on what David Haye has achieved.
Yeah.
And I will always stand by. I believe he was probably the best cruiserweight we've ever produced. I know Bellew beat him twice. That's fine. But at their peaks, I believe David Haye was above him. But when they fought, he was nowhere near Tony Bellew's standard. And that's how it came out. That's how it played out.
Okay. Moving on.
Wait, I haven't said what I think happens in the fight.
Go on in.
Usyk batters him and sends him into retirement.
You know a little bit about boxing, so you're gonna know that.
Tony Bellew has made more money in this sport than you would ever have imagined he could do when Adonis Stevenson nearly decapitated him. When he was in the corner cowering from the light heavyweight Adonis Stevenson, you thought probably the end for him. You know what I mean?
Limited, yeah.
What he's then gone on to achieve is unreal.
Good marketing.
Great marketing.
Good management.
He called out the right people at the right time. He got the Makabu fight made for a vacant cruiserweight title, which was, that was unbelievable that he got that luck because Makabu wasn't top draw, and he got it in front of his Goodison Park faithful, and he won the title in front of, amazing, unbelievable. Can't write that shit. It was like a Rocky movie. Let's do all that shit. Right, great. He then beat a broken David Haye. Take it back. He then battered a broken David Haye twice, even though the first one his leg fell off. But whatever. Usyk is in the prime of his career. What he just did in that World Boxing Super Series was phenomenal, right? Tony Bellew is not ready to go in with Usyk. This is his final fight. I mean,
whose final fight?
Tony Bellew's.
Has he made that a statement?
Eddie Hearn has said this is his last fight.
Okay.
He'll earn crazy money off it, maybe 5 mil, 6 mil. Depends how it sells. It's not going to be one for the casuals.
That's what I'm saying. If it's his last fight, isn't he better off fighting someone that everyone knows and getting
There's no one there for him.
Eddie's sort of done a little bit of a listen. I'll pay you maximum amount, retire.
Yeah.
Well, you've played your part.
I'd say so. There's no one to fight. He's not going to get Fury. He's not going to they're too big for him. They're too big.
Okay, listen. They're too big for Tony Bellew.
Mm-hmm.
I think Usyk's in that mix, and I can't wait to see him in there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Usyk at heavyweight.
The talk is Usyk fights Bellew for all the belts in December, and then drops him and goes heavyweight.
Usyk beats up Bellew, takes all the belts.
He's already got all the belts.
He
retains all the belts and then drops them.
Because he's a daddy.
And that way all them belts will be free to go into the World Boxing Super Series, which has now been the second cruiserweight is going to go in for this second season. I don't get it.
I don't get it. Do you know what? It's funny. I was thinking that the other day. I was thinking, I don't get it.
Should have been light heavies.
There's so many other ways you could have gone with it. When Usyk goes to heavyweight, this is a quick run through of it. I think he's easiest fighters against Anthony Joshua. I think that's the easiest opponent for him at heavyweight. He's mobile, he can move. He may not be a devastating puncher at heavyweight, but he can move. He's slippery. AJ will be a bit too slow and a bit too basic for him.
I don't know about that.
I think he can do a similar job to Wilder, but because Wilder's so unorthodox with his shots, he could accidentally...
Accidentally? No, Sorry, mate, I knocked you out.
Usyk could accidentally walk into one.
Okay.
Because the shots are not... So some of these styles work perfectly against a standard boxer. Perfectly. Untouchable against a standard boxer. So when someone does something a bit different, it doesn't quite work. And I kind of believe that, and it may be the case if he boxed Wilder that he could walk into one, and he's an enormous man as well. Tyson Fury, again, Usyk could pick him off, but Tyson's awkwardness could give him a fighting chance.
I think the size of Tyson against Usyk would look a bit crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like
that was my first when I thought about the Usyk heavyweight thing. When any cruiserweight goes up to that division, I always think he ain't big enough. It's always my first thought. Always. But then you look back and I'm totally wrong because Evander Holyfield did it. David Haye did it. You know, it's been done numerous times.
Yeah, it has.
But I always think they're just not big enough. But I know I'm wrong. I'll still say it again. I'll say I don't think cruiserweights are good enough to be the best in the heavyweight division. But I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong by saying that, but I'll still stick by thinking it. It's my go-to thought when I think of a cruiserweight fighting heavyweight. He's not big enough.
I almost feel like there should be a division between cruiser and heavy.
My problem is you can be a heavyweight and you can be fucking enormous.
This is what I'm saying.
Enormous. Whereas as a cruiserweight, you're a sort of a...
If you weigh 220 pounds, right, you are 20 pounds too big for cruiserweight, but you could be 40 pounds too small for the big heavies. Do you know what I mean? It's a hard place to be. So, yeah, it's irrelevant, but they'll never make another division. There's also a massive gap between light heavy and cruiser. That's 25 pounds.
Listen, I don't think they should make more divisions. I really don't think they should make more divisions. Maybe they should make less divisions. It is what it is.
Yeah,
but
listen, there are weight divisions with £4 difference down at feather and fucking super feather.
Cut your toenails and make the next weight division.
Yeah. Like, a guy cut off one dreadlock to make weight and shit. I've seen that. So, yeah, it's a strange one. I think Usyk at heavyweight would be good if he's matched correctly. Like, I'd fancy him against Joseph Parker. Do you know what I mean? Usyk against Joseph Parker, I think, goes to Usyk. But if you put him in with them monsters...
You think Joshua beats him?
I don't know.
Was it Joe Joyce that he absolutely butchered in the World Boxing Series?
Yeah, but then again, you come to styles, and Joshua's 1-2 when it's as long as it is against Usyk. I don't know. It might hurt him. It might throw him off. But Usyk's so skilled, isn't he? And he's got his feet are beautiful.
Them two snails are coming towards him at that place. They ain't catching Usyk.
I think they're doing Joshua a disservice now, calling his fucking 1-2 snails. He's got a good 1-2. He ain't got a bad left hook. Is that the dog crying?
It's making weird noises of crying, bro. That's not crying.
I don't know. I think they might be too big for him, but time will tell. I think he'll destroy Tony Bellew, and I know people go, I don't want to write Tony off again. No.
Do you remember when it's just randomly popped in my head. Do you remember Manny Pacquiao boxed at Margarito? He was enormous.
Yeah, but he
got
battered
butchered.
him. Yeah, but he battered him.
But do you remember when Lemazhenko blocked Linares?
Yeah, but
he was enormous.
Yeah, not that big. Like, not, I don't know. We'll see.
They're the same as well because they're very similar styles.
But the immediate is Usyk, Bellew. It's the cruiserweight obviously because it's for the cruiserweight belts. So there's no guarantee Usyk will go to heavyweight. It's the natural progression, isn't it? It makes sense, but
listen,
makes his last money fight.
What's left for him? Yeah,
it is nothing. Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
But him against Bellew, I think will be a lopsided hammering. Is how I feel.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah.
Listen, we could be wrong, but I just think it's going to be a sparring session for Usyk. And
listen, I thought Bellew. I can't judge him by the David Haye fights in a way. He did amazingly to do what he did to Haye, but Haye was so clearly broken beyond repair. You know what I mean? Haye 4.0 was just not anywhere near 2 or 3.0, and that was it is. Bellew did his job, but he ain't gonna. There's a few questions we might as well go over while we're here. Will Michael, the top Twitter troll, top bloke actually, Will, sent in a few questions. The first one: should we be reading into the fact that the date and venue is still yet to be agreed for Wilder Fury? Seeing as 2 weeks ago we had Mr. Warren stand there and say,
it's gonna be quiet, isn't it?
It is on. It's on. I can't tell you the venue, can't tell you the date, but it is on. Okay. Can we get a date and venue now?
So what are you saying? Is it just a fake? Can
we read anything into it? Or the question is, should we be reading anything into the fact? Okay.
They've disappeared.
They've disappeared a little bit. It's been very
quiet.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury was very vocal on all of his social medias a couple of weeks ago. Now, to be fair,
I seen him talk about it again yesterday on his social media, and he keeps saying Vegas. He hasn't stopped saying Vegas. I'm guessing there's an issue with the date. Or the venue. I don't know why it would have even been. I don't know why it wasn't already done. Is the first thing, because we knew he was going to beat P&L, didn't we? There was no doubt. And you've got Mr. Wilder over from Alabama. You've spent the money. You've done the hard bit. You've got him there. You've got him building the fight already. Wilder building it already. He's getting chicken thrown at him by Billy Joe. Mate, you set the groundwork. So give us the date now. You know what I mean? Like, if it really is happening, which I'm not going to sit here and say I don't think it is, because I think if it doesn't happen now, you look fucking stupid.
They look silly if they don't materialise now.
Yeah. Oh, something came up, we couldn't get it done. You look ridiculous.
He can't get there because he's got a tyre and he's got a nail in his tyre.
He's got a nail in his tyre. All right, Ben.
Who?
Ben Hall.
No, never heard of that.
Never heard of her. I think the fight has to be made. I don't, after doing that, I don't think anyone would do that to themselves, because you would make
I feel bad for trolling Ben because I've never actually met him.
Ben's a top bloke, but he should have got a cab here or a bus here. I don't know.
Why didn't he? I cycled here once. He could have done that.
I don't know where he lives. I don't know how far it is. But yeah, you did cycle from Brentwood. But you're dedicated.
There is that.
You bleed fight talk. Not everyone else does, dear.
Yeah, I suppose. He's just a casual, I suppose.
He's just a casual, yeah. Should we be reading into it? It's worrying. We'll say that. It's a bit concerning that we don't have the date and venue yet. But
your face, you look genuinely concerned, like your family's in danger. We should be concerned.
We should be.
We should definitely be concerned.
We should be concerned that we don't
You're
have
not
a
in
date
danger,
and venue.
Sam. You're not in danger or anything.
I think Warren's in danger of making a laughing stock of himself if he doesn't get this announced soon.
No, I agree. I think you've hyped it up, talked about it, made a thing out of it. Everyone's pumping. All of a sudden, you've gone quiet.
Mm-hmm.
What are you achieving out of that?
Yeah.
Are you making yourself more relevant? You're kind of relevant anyway. If you don't materialise now, you'll make yourself irrelevant.
Yeah.
You put yourself in a great position. We were talking about their stocks rising, whoever wins the fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a big hot topic now for the last few weeks, and you've gone quiet.
Yeah. Get the fight made.
Warren, bro, what's happening?
If it's real, get it made right now. Second question from Will. What the hell is happening to Brooks' career?
I'm sure I heard a little sneaky rumour that they're talking about Conor Brook again.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a rumour, but it's also the fact that Eddie Hearn's been saying it again. So it's not really a rumour.
I haven't heard it. I just seen it pop up every now and then, and I wasn't sure where I got my information from, so I didn't want to make it sound like it was a real thing. Until
the third question sent in by Will is, if he wins, Hearn has promised a big stadium fight for Amir Khan. Would you prefer the Garcia rematch or for a world title or the Brook fight? I've said it numerous times. I like care.
I like the Canelo rematch.
I don't care. I don't like Kell Brook. I think for all the skills he had, I think his career has been pretty average. He went in with Golovkin when he never should have. Did you say Canelo rematch? Or for Khan?
Yeah. And
give Golovkin rematch to Brook, yeah? Let's do that.
Then when they're both knocked out, put them in the ring together.
I'm sick of talking about it. It's a fight. How many years too late for me? I don't care for Amir Khan anymore.
Prime on prime, I think Khan would have butchered him.
I think Prime Khan beat Prime Brook. I don't know what is happening with Kell Brook's career right now. He was due to fight on the undercard of Dillian. There was a secret injury that was just... Who knows what happened. I don't know what's happened to his career. I don't know. It's a strange one. He balloons up and down in weight when he's not fighting, I believe, is what I hear. And what I've seen with my own eyes when he was out of camp before. So maybe he is literally wanting one fight and one fight only, and that's Amir Khan. And no other fight is getting his, tickling his
juices
pickle.
Flowing.
Yeah, any of that. So maybe he's suffering from that, and he's definitely not Amir Khan's priority. Amir Khan isn't going, right, if I win this, I can fight Brook. I don't think he particularly cares. So if Khan wins,
I don't get why Khan would have signed with Eddie Hearns. He was doing pretty well in America on his own.
Yeah, it was a long time out.
Unless it was to set the fight up with Brook. But we've been through this before.
Yeah.
We went through this before. He's an established name. He was fighting big names, win or lose. Amir Khan was always in the right place. He was always in and around the superstar circle. He was always in and around them. He was just not like, when's he going to win a world title? He was always floating around your Maidanas and all your Mayweathers.
Yeah, with Danny Garcia. That's the question. Would you rather see him pick up another belt against Danny Garcia or go for the rematch?
Honestly, at this stage, I would like to see him because he's had a couple of fights, but I wouldn't mind the Kell Brook fight and then the rematch. I wouldn't be mad at that.
But what if he loses to Brook? The fight's gone. You think it's that cut and dry? He beats Kell Brook.
I do think he beats Kell Brook. Listen, if he can't beat Kell Brook, he'll get ironed out by Garcia again anyway.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Yeah.
Unless he's thinking, right, I might get knocked out by either of them, so if I'm going to get knocked out by someone, it might as well be by Garcia.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you look at it.
Fair.
It depends how many fights does he want more? How many more fights does he want?
I know.
So you have to question how much he wants it and what he wants left out of his career. Does he just want to put the Kell Brook thing behind him because it's been talked about all his career? So he was like, all right, I don't want to be one of them fighters that it never happened. I want to get it done. Or does he think, no, I want to right a wrong? Or does he want to do both? You don't know how many fights he's got left. Maybe he wants to go in the jungle again soon.
Yeah, or he wants to dance on ice or something.
Wants to dance on ice. He looks like Bambi on ice when he gets hit. So. Yeah,
time will tell with Brook and Khan if it happens, but I I ain't falling over myself to see it. Is what I'm saying. I'm not particularly bothered if that
Brooke
happens.
found all the parts to his face that were missing after his fight.
They're all glued together with metal plates now, so he's alright. Another question, Sam Khan. Thank you very much. Question is in several parts. Hughie Fury seems a decent fighter, but one, what does he do, and his style that makes everyone say he's so good for someone who fights on the back foot? So, and if you look at Hughie Fury, the way you look at the Joseph Parker fight, for example.
I've only seen a handful of Hughie Fury's fights.
Hughie Fury, yeah.
Hughie Fury's fights. I've only seen a handful of his fights, to be fair, and he doesn't look. He's pretty average. Like he's not. He's like.
I disagree. I mean, I also don't think he's shades of Ali, like Mick Hennessy tells us.
Listen, I don't think. I remember watching.
I think he's skilled,
and Tyson saying he's better than me, and he's better than I don't. He's not that level. I mean, he's Tyson Fury even the level that Tyson Fury is. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Tyson may have spoke himself into being as good as we think.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So has he done the same to his cousin? His cousin, right?
Yeah, cousin.
Has he done the same thing to him? So he's kind of achieving the same thing. Whereas he's all right. He'll always be competitive at that level, but he'll never be a star.
I think he's awkward. There aren't many heavyweights. If you look at the heavyweight scene, right? Tyson Fury is the obvious boxer that's out there, yeah? You know what I mean? If you look at Joshua, Wilder...
What's Joshua?
Joshua is very good.
Textbook. He's a boxer.
No, but what I'm saying... Oh, yeah, alright, he's a boxer.
Alright,
skilled boxer, slick. Skilled,
yeah.
slick, footwork, move off the back foot, punches from different angles.
Yeah, agreed.
Fury's the only one that does that.
Agreed.
But Hughie does too, right? If you watch Hughie's stuff, Hughie does similar things, but he's not as big, so he doesn't have it in his arsenal to swallow you up and
lay on
to
you,
make it
tie
dirty.
you up.
Yes, exactly. Hughie doesn't have that in his locker, but he's very, very skilled. He moves nice. He moves nicely.
Can he punch?
Now that's the question.
Take a punch?
That's another question. He stood up with Joseph Parker, who isn't a massive puncher either.
He's not a big man either.
No, agreed. So, I don't think we know how good Hughie Fury is. Listen, he disposed of Sam Sexton as he should have done. That is fair to say. Sam Sexton was a long, long time in the game. Fair to say, was past his best, and his best wasn't
the best.
Wasn't even European level. So, Hughie Fury battered him.
He showed some standard. He showed a standard.
But I don't think we'll know how good he is. And for him to take this fight at the end of October in Pulev's backyard shows they believe in him. And Pulev is much avoided, you know. He is. Like, whether you like it or not, no one really wants to go to his backyard.
This is a telling fight.
It is.
We'll learn a lot more about him after this fight.
And the second part of Sam's question is, other than losing to Parker, what has he done to deserve a world title shot? So, exactly. He didn't deserve the title shot when he got it. If we're being honest, you know, he beat Cassie and he beat.
Is he good off the back of reputation though?
Because he's got the name Fury.
He's got the name, and it's a top subject at the minute, and they know that it's an easy selling point.
My argument would be, if he beats Pulev, he's more worthy of a title shot than he was the first time round. It rises his stock more beating Pulev than.
Do you think he has the potential to mix it with?
Who?
Or do you think this next fight is what's going to tell all of that?
I believe this is the fight. This is the standout fight.
Even though
if he dances rings around Pulev,
even though what happened with Parker, who I don't think is top grade.
Yeah, I think this is because he lost. Fine, you know, I can't be a hypocrite. He lost to Parker. I'm out.
It's not about that. It's not about that.
At 24 years old or whatever he is for a heavyweight.
Any of them other top boys are going to lose to Parker? Can you see Wilder losing to Parker?
See, maybe we've got hindsight now, Rich, because he's just lost to Dillian and to AJ. But when Fury took that fight, Parker was undefeated, you know, and he was undefeated too.
I get that, but
and listen, you can have a bad night and you can go in there and go, oh, that was the wrong tactic. I'll learn from that. So I don't have a problem with Parker beating him. I think what I'll say is I think Parker is good enough that it's not a real bad thing to have lost to him. Do you know what I'm saying? He didn't get beat by a.
He didn't get butchered either.
He didn't get beat by a PNL.
No, he didn't get butchered either.
He got beat by a man who was current world champion, who's gone on to have a unification bout. So it's no shame in losing to Parker, is what I'll say. But I think the Pulev fight will open our eyes up to how good he might be. Yeah. If he goes and dances rings around Pulev, he might just be legit.
Off night, styles, something happened.
Yeah. Or he thought he won the fight and he didn't, which is what they all say. They believe he won the fight. It is what it is, mate. So time will tell on that one. Oh, that's a good point. I've pressed record, by the way. We've had issues with our last 2 podcasts.
Yeah.
The Davis Pagan one, part of the file corrupted. I've never seen it before, so we had to upload the second part again, which was very strange. But the last podcast, if you look at the numbers on SoundCloud, they are way inflated. And I think 3,000 too many views. So I emailed them SoundCloud and you know what I'm like. I don't like it. I don't like the thought of it looking like they're fake numbers. So I emailed them and said, what the fuck's going on? Because it also, I knew something was going on with the file. First of all, the numbers were way too inflated and it was too soon. Second of all, the iTunes link didn't work. So someone had fucked with the link as well. They emailed me back and said it was an external, someone had done something to that episode and they couldn't really work out what happened.
I remember talking to you about this. You didn't like the fact that it looked suspicious.
It does look. If you look at our numbers, we know where we are.
You want them to be legit. You want it to be real. And if we grow because we've worked hard, we've grown because we've worked hard, not because we've bought numbers.
I wanted people to. It just occurred to me now because if you look at that, you go.
While we're on this subject,
right?
Everyone that watches this and follows this, or listens to this and follows this, can we perhaps have a week this week where everyone, maybe you do, maybe you don't want to, shares this week's podcast? Or put the logo out, maybe our Instagrams or our Twitters. If everyone that listens and enjoys what we do here shares this stuff, just for us for this 1 week, makes a point of making a post out of it, tag us in it, we could pick up more listeners. We pick up more listeners, we could potentially pick up sponsors, which can help us do more and give more back to you guys. So, just for this week only, maybe consider putting something out and tagging us in it. We both really appreciate it, and perhaps we can give you better content as well off the back of it.
Yeah, it's weird because
if you're this far into the podcast, I imagine you're an avid listener. And
I think you will be.
Your team fights.
We know our everyday people, and also let me say this as well. There's people that listen to this pod that I didn't know, and you see them and they go, "Oh, I listened to the pod," and I was like,
people have surprised me.
And there's people in boxing. A lot of people in boxing listen to the pod. So, although I'd like to grow our numbers, what I'll say is that this week I've had I did a lot of miles, topping up for interviews and stuff. I went and saw Isaac and Ben Hall, that was in Sutton. It took me an hour and a half to get there, and it took me 4.5 hours to get home. Now,
plus the time in the gym.
Plus the time in the gym, which was about 4 hours.
6, so that's 10 hours.
It was about 10 hours. I left my house at 6:45. I got home at 7:30. But more than that, I missed my kids' football training, which traffic is traffic. It happens anyway. And then I sat back, right, and I went to the gym the following day, which was Club KO in Loughton. I loved it. I watched Congo and Sam Gilly spar, fucking beautiful. And I spoke to Jimmy Mack for half an hour. I'm blessed to be in that position. So let me not sound like I'm fucking whinging and bitching. You know, I'm in the gym with Isaac Chamberlain and Jorge Rubio, and then it's amazing. It is. But this shit it's getting hard, man. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, sitting with all the hours I do, and then you look at what you get for it, and you look at the views. And you look at more than the views, because views ain't nothing.
I put a whole day of my life for only 100 people to look at a video.
Yeah.
That's
how I look at it, because
return on investment.
Yeah, and there's no investment. Like, again, I'm never gonna make a penny out of it. I understand that it's too far, but it's got to the point where I think we'll always do the podcast because I like to blow off steam. But the more I think about it, I don't know if I'm gonna bother doing interviews anymore. You know.
What about?
I'm blessed to be.
I'm hearing this now from Sam as
the very first time. Yeah.
For the very first time.
I haven't told you
guys here. So, are you saying you're not going to visit gyms, or are you not going to take the camera to fights anymore?
I don't know, man.
Because let me tell you, let me break this down for you. If you hadn't have come and met me, and you hadn't have interviewed me, my media presence wouldn't have been where it would in my career. So in some cases, it hasn't worked. But someone like myself from my career wouldn't have got the exposure it got without someone like you.
No, I get that.
So now
that's all it's ever going to be for me. That's all it's ever wanted it to be.
But you've got some fighters that, it's just another interview. But you've got fighters like me that is sort of not change their career, but will appreciate it forever. Like, yes, I sold tickets. Yes, I sponsored people. Say, you was doing all right. Maybe I wouldn't if I wasn't doing all this.
Yeah.
So don't forget that.
I know.
Don't forget that some people really, really fucking appreciate what you do, and it really with the ringside stuff. After all my fights, you're there straight away. It's funny. I was looking for him the other day. I was having a down day, looking at my stuff. The first interview we did was at the Sports Lounge. The second interview. Now, what's the second interview? we talk like we've known each other for years. That's when I had my bad hand the first time. And I didn't know it was a second interview. And I only know because we brought up the snooker situation.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Well, we did it after about 3 or 4 fights, I think, didn't we?
We did the Sports Lounge thing. The next time I see you was then. And we spoke like we'd known each other for years. Now, without them kind of interviews, I wouldn't have been able to build my media presence, built the confidence I have in front of the camera.
It may have helped, but you're different because you would have found a way anyway, because you're a grafter. But
we need people
the way I'm looking at it, Richard, I'll be honest, like I've been travelling around doing interviews with people for a couple of years, and obviously there's highs and there's lows in anything, but it's got to the point where I sit there and I go, it still costs me money to do this. Like, not the money's everything. So, and I'm, like I keep saying, I was blessed to be in the gym with Jorge Rubio, and then the following day with Jimmy Mack, and learning, and it's unbelievable. But take that side out of it, and you think this costs me money, it costs me time, a lot of effort, and I don't know if I'm even getting anything.
You feel value from it anymore?
Yeah, like I don't know. I see like how grateful Sam Gilly was. I saw Jamie Carley did an interview with him, and they were really grateful for the interviews. And I mean, that's all I can ask for, I guess. But then you go, it's cost me my whole day. It's cost me how much in fuel, parking, bit whatever, and then I ended up missing my kids' training. It just all compounds it, and it's further proof that I'm doing this, and I don't know what I'm doing it for anymore. Because how many of these young fighters are really like? I stand there and beat the drum and go, I want to be small hall guy. I want to be the guy pushing people forward. But boxing is so niche.
Listen, that doesn't, Sam. It doesn't give back to you. It doesn't give back to you in financial way. But what you've given to a fighter like me can't be returned. It won't be returned in a financial fact. It doesn't work that way. Like, it's very difficult to put into words. Like, you can, for you to, maybe if you cut out the gym visits, still go to the boxing that you like, the boxing, interview the boxers that you like, or the boxers that say, Sam, I want an interview.
Yeah, and like we just spoke about off here, there's people that...
Because I would never want to see you stop doing this.
But there's people that DM me, like the one we just spoke about, who asked me to do a very personal interview, and that's an honour. Like, first of all, it's an honour to do your retirement one, but that interview I'm going to do in the next few weeks about something very, very, very personal. I mean, that's an honour. Like, to be asked to do that shit is unreal.
See, Sam, this is a testament to people's trust in you, people's belief in you, and I don't think... Yes, you've had a tough week, you've had a tough time recently with these interviews. Be more selective. Be more selective. Do the boys that will appreciate it more. Not for a return.
It's not even just the appreciate. Like the boys that listen, like Isaac Chamberlain and Chris Congo, I've known them for a long time, and they were grateful for me coming down. Don't get me wrong, but then you look at it and go, it doesn't translate into. It sounds so selfish to say it wasn't worth my while. I don't mean that. I'm catching up with guys and seeing them. I don't know. It's not. I don't enjoy it. I just look at it and go, I'm going so out of my way. Like, got in from work at 5 AM. I got up at 10 AM to go to the gym to interview these guys for 150 views.
What would you want to make you feel better about it?
I have no idea. I haven't thought about that.
Let's say
I'm just venting. Like, I'm just venting.
Let's say we managed to get a sponsor for Fight Talk. It didn't cost you money. That's covered now. Would you feel a bit better? Would that help?
Maybe, but let me say one thing. It might make me feel better as such that it doesn't cost me 100 quid to go and do a gym. Or maybe.
But is it shallow? Yeah, is it a shallow?
Yeah, but it's not all about the money. When I'm like, at the minute I'm disheartened with it, but it's not just about money. It's also about time. And I know this is never going to be my full-time gig. I have to work to pay my mortgage and my car, etc. Blah blah blah. So this is a hobby that I love, and I'm blessed to be in this situation with these boys and meet people. But it comes to it where I know 1,000,000%. I like to succeed in everything I do, and the level I want to succeed at won't happen with Fight Talk, and it won't happen because you don't have the backing from the start. You don't listen. Look at Boxing Social, yeah. Rob Tebber, for me, probably the best interviewer.
I'm
going
to interrupt, Sam.
Now let me say this. Rob Tebber's probably the best interviewer out there, right? That's my personal opinion, and he has amazing backing from Boxing Social. I didn't know how new they were. Boxing Social, I think they're just under 2 years old, something like that. And they've got people on wages. They've got people backing. They've got massive sponsored posts all over the place. It's fucking great, and I hope they grow to where I believe they can be, which is be one of the top dogs in this country. But you couldn't do that without backing. It's as simple as that.
Let me tell you something. Look at Fight Talk, the way Box looks at his career.
Who?
look at Fight Talk, the way a boxer looks at his career. Could you have done more? Could you be doing more? And I don't mean in terms of more interviews. I mean, why haven't you got back in? Just tell me, why haven't you got back in? Have you tried to get back in?
But you think you
have you tried to get back in?
No, I'm not.
So why are you not complaining? Why are you saying that?
Because
you're not where you want to be because you haven't done enough. I can't go on a rant about boxers.
Yeah, it's
made
true.
me laugh sitting here saying to you now.
No,
I can't
agree.
go on a rant about boxers complaining where they don't get in their career. For you to sit here and complain that Fight Talk isn't where you want it to be,
but it can't get there. There's a difference.
That's bollocks.
No, it ain't. Of course it ain't.
That's bollocks.
Okay,
you want more? You want more? Do more. Also, listen. There's been a lot of change at Fight Talk. Craig's recently moved away.
Now I'm stuck with you.
I was a boxer through most of Fight Talk, and now I'm not boxing. I'm media, not boxing. Now there's two media, not just a media and a boxer. Now there's both of us that can try and put effort. And the effort I was putting into my boxing career is now going to translate to my media career.
Yeah, but you still got to work.
That doesn't make a difference to me. I love this. I enjoy this.
But it's physically impossible to make, like...
Is it not beyond the realms of possibility that we could get the back end eventually for us both to do it full time? Is that so hard to believe?
Yeah.
That that's possible?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't believe that's possible.
Why?
I don't believe that's possible because there's certain aspects to it. The reason I know what you're saying, you can do more. I 100% agree with that. But let me say this.
Maybe not a full
the
time
reason
job.
why,
If you were getting paid some sort of monthly fee to do it, some sort of monthly fee. Say someone said, "Here, Sam, it's £500 a month." Would you not think, I love doing that and I benefit from it financially? Would it not give you not more incentive because you do it because you love it, and if you don't love it, you won't do good work. The only way to do good work is do work that you love. And you do love this. You do love this.
I don't know if the following is in small hall, because that's where I would like to make the difference. Like the top level is sewn up. Yeah, IFL and stuff.
Maybe we need to expand. We need to expand. Fight Talk. Now we're doing interviews. We're doing podcasts. We will explore to commentary is a thing we do now. You can get Fight Talk, both of us or one of us, on the show. There's other areas we can go. If you build it up, set it off, put videos on social media, put adverts on social media, go around the companies, talk to companies.
Maybe I should practice what I preach.
Let people know you exist. Let people know what your plans are. Some people will buy into it. Some people will like it, and they'll want you to go further. And the more you put in, the more you get back out. I'm not saying you don't put in because you do. And you've given my career a chance that other interviewers didn't give. You've always given that chance. I believe in Fight Talk. Right now you're sitting on your pissy pot complaining about shit. But Sam, you don't realise what you've given back to some fighters.
Yeah, that was always the hope, to give back.
And you have. Sam, I'm sitting here right now. If you can come drive all the way to Brentwood to come and get beaten up Paul against me.
I definitely won. But no, I get your point. I guess you get highs and lows and everything in it, in all walks of life. And I've been a little bit disillusioned with Fight Talk a little bit lately. And I'll tell you now, I'm not the only one. You're gonna see a few things. I'll talk to you afterwards. But it's not easy to always be this doing everything when you don't feel like you're really achieving anything. You know, that's the hard bit, because we try and you look at the website. That's always going. So we're always putting stuff up, taking time to edit that around our jobs. Craig does more than anyone on the website. Absolutely does unbelievable stuff on the website, and he's got a full-time job. He's got a new fiance. You got to try and fit this shit in, and it just comes to a point where you go, is this realistic? Is it a detriment to the rest of your life? That's more of it, because as long as it's not interfering, I'll do this shit. But when it gets to the point where it is interfering and I'm missing things and I can't do such things, do you know what I'm saying? It gets. But yeah, maybe I just got to be more positive and go, I enjoy working in boxing. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, all this stuff about building and growing, it's relative to whether you want that to happen or not. Maybe going more would be worse for you. Maybe doing less would be better for you. Focus on the podcast. Only interview at shows when you feel like interviewing at shows.
Yeah.
Or maybe you want more out of it, which means at least temporarily you have to do more to get more. And, I don't mean in terms of.
No, you're not wrong. You're not. Listen, you ain't wrong.
Listen,
I know
you
what
can't
you're
push
saying.
harder in the gym. You can't go out and do more interviews. Push harder on getting back in, getting the videos shared around, getting the podcast put out there. Like today, I've said to people, listen, we'd like to grow. We'd like to get more listeners. We can't do that. If someone's sitting there listening still into an hour in, they like the podcast. They enjoy it. They like what we give, or what you give, and what I try to contribute. So if these people can share this around and try and get other people on board, what happens if this goes out and then all of a sudden next week our numbers double because everyone did share it and then one person from all of them listened to it?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I need to push more that we need help. But the plan was always to help other guys. It's like saying for me to say, I need you to back me so I can back the fighters. It feels a bit strange. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't.
Whereas
No,
if you're a pro boxer,
no, listen, fighters have supporters. Fight Talk has supporters. You want to see Fight Talk do well? We need your help. We're not asking a lot. It's just a little button you click on your phone, share.
Yeah,
that's easy. And they're supporters of the channel. I'm sure they can press the share button.
Yeah,
I believe in them. Do you believe in them?
I believe in them. Yeah, no, I do. It just came to my mind that that's how I was feeling this week, and this is kind of my place to rant, innit? I've got a little red fucking on air mic in front of me, so I thought that's the way I'm feeling at the minute. It's difficult to always stay motivated. Try
get punched in the face 3 days a week in a gym and tell me about staying motivated.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's relevant.
I can't wait to wake up in the morning and get punched in the face again.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's true. I can't sit here and say do more social media as a pro boxer, and then on the other hand say I don't want to do it as a media guy.
See, if I'd have sat here and agreed with you and sort of gone along with that would have devalued what I said earlier. So
I wouldn't have said it to you unless I knew you was going to be honest.
Yeah,
I knew you was going to be honest.
It's the same thing, yeah.
All I'm saying it's like any bit in life. You get your ups and your downs, and at the minute, it's not feeling too good. Is how I feel about Fight Talk. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's not feeling like it's hitting the heights.
Do we need new t-shirts?
I can't afford any more t-shirts.
Do we need new hats?
I gave away how many t-shirts? So
Sam, leave it with me. I'll see what I can do.
No, we've got the t-shirts. Do you know what? I love seeing boys out there on our t-shirts. Like when Brad Pauls posts up a picture, like just sparring or shadow boxing.
Again, another thing. If you're over an hour into this podcast and you've got a Fight Talk t-shirt, send us a hashtag selfie and put it on social media. Come on, most of you have got these t-shirts. Share a post, tag us in it, get a selfie, tag us in it, share it.
Take two. I hadn't pressed record on that one, so no one heard my joke about you wanking me off to make me feel better. Now they will do. So thank you for wanking me off to make me feel better. That was great. Good little therapy session there.
I feel a bit better now.
Yeah, my tears are dried and everything. Thank you for the cuddle. Yeah, we were good.
Sam needs encouragement, guys, so please.
Everybody get behind Sam. We had a question from Ramez for Ben Hall. There was actually one from Craig Scott as well. I sent it to Ben and he said, I'll do a voice note, I'll send it over to you. He hasn't come yet, so we're going to finish up anyway. The question was about how he's finding it training under Rubio and his plans. I don't know his plans, but I saw him in the gym with Jorge Rubio. Unbelievable attention to detail. Rubio spent half an hour turning Ben's foot when he threw a left hook by about 6 degrees or something. Unbelievable. Honestly, I'm not even joking. For half an hour, turn your left to do the attention to detail. Unbelievable. So Ben's going to be in a good place in there with Jorge Rubio, who's making an absolute beast out of Isaac Chamberlain as well. So that's all I can comment on that. I'm gutted Ben couldn't make it, but it is what it is, mate. Things happen every day in life. We've got Sam Gilly coming on in 2 weeks. That's the day after he fights on the Goodwin show that you and I will be at. The show you were due to have your fight on, but obviously retirement got in the way of that. So
I might just be there crying.
That might be your first show where you do interviews. If you can be the new interviewer, because I'm knocking it on the head. But,
that's the plan. Listen, someone give me a chance. Someone give me a chance. Fight Talk gave me a chance.
Fight Talk. We'll see what happens. Listen, there's a lot of positive things to look forward to for you. A lot of plans for the future.
I'll bring you up.
You're gonna bring me up,
I'll bring you up. You'll be alright. I'll enlighten you again.
Alright. Anything else we ain't mentioned? We're probably an hour and 20, hour and a half in, something like that. Let's finish up.
I need to go home. I've got to get one of those. I've got to go and get a real job. I've had a real job for about 3 years because of locked in. So I need to go home and.
You got interviews and stuff.
I've got interviews and stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, you got to go and. What do you do? Stand in front of the mirror? Do you do your speech?
Shadow box and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I realised that that's not going to help.
That's not going to help. You put your gum shield in and that walking, yeah. No, it's been good, but it's a bit of therapy. A bit of therapeutic. This one.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't see it taking that turn.
It was a strange podcast today, wasn't it? Like it was open. The thing is, we came in today. Sam usually has like a list of things to do. I see Sam today. I was like, Sam, is everything alright? He was a bit like tail between his legs, a bit like down. I actually had a list of things which I've never done before on the podcast. I had my own list of topics to come up with. So it was kind of a bit different for us today. Bit of a change. I feel like it's been a bit of a different tempo.
And we did the live portion and I'm not sold on it. I thought it would go better and it didn't.
Sam don't like it.
I don't like it. I think we're sacking it off.
I think Ben's not turning up. The live portion not going well.
I think it's summed up, exactly how I've been feeling. It's just another sort of
Sam's bone has gone soft, so
Never soft. I'm at a garage festival next week.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sam O'Reilly at a garage festival.
You
No,
don't know.
bruv, I don't believe that.
I'm going to be bogling all over the place. Yeah, it's going to be garage music galore. I might even wear my flowery get-up that I wore in Spain.
I like
Remember
that.
was,
I like that. No,
that
I
was
respect
that.
that.
Primark's finest,
No,
my
I
man.
respect that. I respect that. I've got a lot of time for that.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You're all about
I love it. I love it.
Someone
I'm
asked me if
really-
it was a jumpsuit.
I'm really keen. I'm really keen on Paisley. Do you know that?
Paisley?
I would wear a Paisley shirt. I would.
What's Paisley?
You know what Paisley is?
Sounds Scottish, isn't it?
Timeless classics.
I don't know.
It's like a pattern.
Is it?
I'll show you after.
Yeah, nothing else to add. I think
I think we're there. We're thereabouts.
yeah.
You ready to close the show?
Let's close the show with some garage. Get ready for next Saturday. You're going to see me bogling. Oi! Yeah, no, this, yeah.
You chose a banger as well to finish with.
Always
right?
choose a banger. Should we fade it out?
Fade it out.
This has been the Fight Talk podcast. Yeah.
Richie Gray.
Richie Gray, Sam crying tears. Nah, listen, thank you all for listening. Yeah, man, we do appreciate every single person that has us on. So, yeah, thank you very much for listening. It's been the Fight Talk podcast, and we out.
Peace.